From Enjoy Golf Course, this is Action News, live at the Dick's Sporting Goods Open.
Each year, hundreds of thousands of dollars are donated to local charities following the Dick's Sporting Goods Open. I'm Julianne Pixoto, and coming up, I'll tell you how the organizations are selected and why donation amounts keep increasing year after year.
Plus, prepping the course is an important part of the Dick's Sporting Goods Open, what it takes to get the greens pro-ready.
Well, it's just to help out the club and help out the community, and it's fun to be with all the guys.
He's been helping out at the Champions Tour since the 1970s. The oldest volunteer here talks about how the tournament has changed. And welcome back, everyone. I'm Candace Chapman. You know, along with this being a premier sporting event, the Dick's Sporting Goods Open raises money for much needed money for local charities. Our Julianne Pixoto explains how that money's spread around and also why the amount the tournament raises has significantly increased over the past few years.
Broome County Community Charities is the host organization of the Dick's Open.
We're then responsible for deciding where and how the money is distributed in the community every year with our charitable contributions.
For more than 3 decades, the BC Open functioned without a title sponsor, so most of the money raised went towards funding the tournament and course maintenance.
Now that we have Dick's as a title sponsor, a lot of that funding comes from Dick's corporate. We're able to take that additional money now and turn it over to charity.
Since the first tournament was played back in 1971, more than $14 million has been donated to local charities. Last year alone, contributions exceeded more than $1 million.
The money that we get donated from the Broome County charities, we use for operating costs, because pretty much no one funds operating costs anymore. They'll fund a program, but we have a 53-year-old building that still needs to be repaired and fixed and cleaned.
UHS and Lourdes hospitals are the primary recipients. Each received $50,000 last year.
The hospitals are going to take care of the greatest number of people here within our community.
And then we see the final numbers, and we're kind of stunned that there's so many people that are willing to give, and we're happy to just have a small part in that.
It's a great feeling at the end of the day to know that we're putting on a golf tournament, a concert, many different events during Dick's Sporting Goods Open Week, but the end result is that we're going to benefit the charity here where we live.
In Endicott, Julianne Pixoto, WBNG TV, Action News.
And between 30 and 50 organizations receive charitable donations each year. Now, between the course, the parking, and the food, it takes a lot to make sure that the Dick's Sporting Goods Open runs smoothly. Our Emily DeVito spoke with one volunteer who has been here since the tournament started.
He may be 98 years old, but that doesn't slow down volunteer Woody Erbstozer. He has been volunteering at the Open since it started in the late 1970s.
When we first started, we just had just a small tent of some kind, and it would rain every year and be walking around about 2 or 3 inches of water.
Now, with beautiful weather and the tournament in its 36th year, Woody just looks forward to hanging out with the guys.
You know, we joke around a bit and this and that, and everybody does their part. Everybody enjoys it.
There are about 1,400 volunteers here at the Dick's Sporting Goods Open, and they're responsible for about 95% of the tournament's operations, making them invaluable to the event.
We couldn't do it. We couldn't do the tournament at all. I know that phrase has been used a lot, but it's really true.
And Woody isn't looking to end his volunteer career anytime soon.
See you next year and have a beer.
Woody will be celebrating his 99th birthday in November and has only missed 1 year of volunteering since the Open started. In Endicott, Emily DeVito, WBNG TV, Action News.
And we would like to welcome Emily DeVito as the newest member of our Action News team. Now, while Pro-Am play is winding down for the day, there is another group of people that's just getting ready to hit the holes here tonight. Our Josh Martin spent the day with the grounds crew this morning and joins us at end for a look at what it takes to keep the course up to par.
And if you take one look at this golf course, you can clearly see how beautiful it is. But what a lot of people don't see is how much hard work it takes to maintain it. The grounds crew here at Enjoy Golf Course works almost around the clock to make sure everything is perfect for the tournament.
The morning meeting starts early. 20 crew members and plenty of coffee fill this small break room as assignments are given out.
Greens, mowers, backtracking, left to right.
With the Pro-Am teeing off at 8 a.m., first-year course superintendent Anthony Chapman says Wednesdays and Thursdays are the toughest days.
We get in here at 4:30, we mow our greens, rake bunkers, mow approaches, and just basically get it ready for the whole day in a matter of a few hours. So it's a little tough.
Every little detail is addressed, from watering the flowers to replacing and painting new holes.
A lot of people don't see us or realize exactly what we do. We get here before the golfers every day. It's a really rewarding job, and it's just interesting to see people's reaction, what we actually do.
It takes about an hour to mow one of the greens, and as the sun begins to rise, the finishing touches are taken care of and the course is ready to play.
Oh, it's a long day, it's a long process, and I think watching everybody get through it and be happy and watch a little golf, that's probably the best part of it for me.
And Candace, the work doesn't stop for these guys after the players tee off. In about an hour, the grounds crew is going to head back out on the course till about 10 o'clock tonight, and they're going to do a lot of the same things they did this morning. A lot of these guys have been working 14-hour days.
All right, thank you, Josh. The crowds will swell over the next 3 days, and so will traffic as people searching for parking space. Homeowners who live near the course take advantage by turning lawns into pay lots. For many, it's a tradition that's been in place for decades.
We tried it, and it was a big success back when it was the BC Open. And we've been doing it all these years up till now when it switched over to Dick's. So we've been doing it probably 42 years.
Our Lady of Good Counsel Church and Charles F. Johnson Elementary School used their lots to fundraise during the tournament. The church will use the money for programs to help feed the hungry, and the cash collected by the elementary school will go toward various programs. Parking rates can vary, but most charge around $5 except for Friday, tomorrow. Expect to pay about $20 to park for the tournament and the Lady Antebellum concert.
We've really lucked out here this year thus far with the weather for the Dick's Sporting Goods Open. And you know what? As we move into tomorrow, that weather is going to look even better. Let's take a look at the forecast for the tournament tomorrow morning, even through the afternoon. You'll see we're going to start off with mostly sunny skies with temperatures in the low 50s with a light breeze expected moving into 12 o'clock. We're looking at about 72 degrees. And then by 4 o'clock tomorrow afternoon, still a couple clouds around, but really a pleasant day with high pressure and control. We're looking at temperatures in the mid 70s. I'll have a full look at the rest of your forecast coming up in just a few minutes.
Thanks, Howard. Still to come on Action News Live at the Dick's Sporting Goods Open.
You know, sometimes when you have a regular caddy, you can't exactly say everything that you really want to say, so to speak. So.
All right, good putt.
She's anything but regular. Meet a pair at Enjoy this week whose relationship goes beyond the greens. Behind every great golfer is a great caddy, and as our Haley Burton shows us, that person is the professional golfer's right-hand man, or in this case, right-hand woman.
Two. Nice. Everybody gets a shot on this one.
Everybody gets a shot here.
On the golf course, it's Brenda Calcavecchia calling those shots.
All good putt. All right, good shot.
A lot of players don't think they can handle their, the stress of having their wives caddy for them.
All right. I mean, I think it takes a certain couple to be able to do this. We're with each other pretty much 24/7. Oh, that might be good, though.
She's been wife for 10 years, caddy for more than 5.
It was kind of out of necessity. We were maybe in Mexico, or he didn't want to hire a caddy to go out there and said, I'm sure you can do it. Oh, it did end up on the green.
Brenda is behind the ropes this weekend and every weekend for her husband, Mark.
She gets a little mad at me sometimes, but for the most part, we have fun out there.
Having me out there is a lot more mental than it is the actual aspects of yardages and clubs and reads as much.
All right, what do we got?
Yeah.
She does that, too.
81 and 21.
She's a golfer herself. Mark Calcavecchia is a 13-time winner on the PGA Tour. Add to that 3 Champions Tour wins, including one earlier this summer. When he joined the Champions Tour, his first event was the Dick's Sporting Goods Open.
It's my 5th year, and I will be here every year as long as I can play.
All right.
Staying by his side for better.
I want to keep it right here.
I want to keep it on the right side.
Or for worse. In Endicott, Haley Burton, WBNG TV, Action News.
Now, much like a caddy to a golfer, a deer in Delaware County has its own helper. A viewer in Downsville caught this on camera. A child helping that deer with a snack, an apple, right through the car window. You can send us your pictures and videos using UNews on WBNG.com. There's still more to come here on Action News Live at the Dick's Sporting Goods Open. Just ahead, Howard with Storm Tracker Weather and why the job of a meteorologist is so important at this tournament.
This is Storm Tracker Weather, powered by AccuWeather.
We've been seeing plenty of clouds here today across the Twin Tiers, and all that's a courtesy of an upper-level low-pressure system that's been over the Great Lakes. Let's take a look at the New York, Pennsylvania satellite and radar, and you'll notice that there are plenty of clouds. Even some lake-effect rain showers earlier today off to the north and east of Binghamton. Those have pretty much fizzled away, and as we move into the rest of the overnight, the clouds are going to be holding here in the short term, but eventually clouds will be clearing out into the overnight. Temperatures right now, we are in the low to mid-70s, so it is a comfortable evening across the Twin Tiers. If we look at some forecast highlights, plenty of clouds. That's been the story here the last 3 or 4 days. But tonight, high pressure builds in. Slow clearing is expected. A lot of sunshine for your Friday. Saturday, a couple of more clouds are expected. Sunday, slight risk of a shower later in the day. But next week, looks like it's going to be really warming up. As far as the future tracker goes, we do have plenty of clouds right now. The clouds aren't going to show up on this particular model, but what we're looking at, we're not seeing any rainfall, and I don't anticipate any rainfall here throughout the rest of this evening. By tomorrow morning, waking up with a partly cloudy to mostly sunny skies. That's what we'll start our Friday and I think even end our Friday with. It'll be a cool night tomorrow night. And then by 5 o'clock tomorrow evening again, I think we're going to end up seeing more sun Friday than we've seen all day today. Let's take a look at your 7-day forecast here. You'll notice that things are going to be warming up. We've been talking about this warm-up coming. 81 on Saturday, 82 degrees on Sunday. It looks like a mainly dry day. Maybe an isolated thunderstorm later in the day on Monday. Tuesday, 85. Wednesday, 86 degrees. And by the time we move into Thursday of next week, I think we see a little more cloud cover, but maybe dropping back just a couple more degrees. The average high temperature this time of year is the low to mid 70s. So we're going to be 10 to maybe 15 degrees above that as we move into next week. And, of course, weather is a part of everyday life. And sometimes it's quiet, sometimes it's sunny, and sometimes it's active as well. But, regardless of the weather, the Champions Tour, they rely on one of their own to keep the players safe, and I had an opportunity to sit down and talk with one of them. There is no magic involved when it comes to creating a weather forecast.
So we get in on Monday and get set up, and we go from there and monitor the weather. It's important to come in and give them a forecast for the entire week so they can be prepared for any undue delays or any threats. And each day, basically, in the morning, first thing, I look over model data, giving everyone an idea of what's expected.
This is not unlike any of WBNG's own meteorologists, but there is a slight difference.
Our job is more specific. You guys cover a larger area, and really only about a 10 to 15 mile radius around the golf course is all I care about.
The most important part of Young's job? Alerting the appropriate people if and when the weather turns dangerous.
My job out here is communicating with tournament officials and particularly the rules officials.
If Willis sees something mid-afternoon, let's say tomorrow, he'll let the rules officials know, which will ultimately let myself and the tournament staff know. If it does become more imminent, then there will be messaging that will go up on all the LED boards throughout the golf course.
Lightning safety on a golf course is of high priority, and this particular piece of equipment right here will help the Champions Tour meteorologists know that something could be brewing. It takes at least 20 minutes to clear the course should threatening weather develop. Now, when the horn blows, caddies, golfers, and tournament staff are required to stop immediately and head to shelter. But
we really can't force the spectators to leave. They've paid to get in and everything, but we want to continuously keep them updated.
If you're planning on attending this year's tournament, keep an eye out for Willis on the course.
If they see me out walking around the golf course, they know it's a good day. It's like, as long as I see you out here on the course, everything's great.
For WBNG TV Action News, I'm Howard Manges.
Thanks, Howard. And the weather looks like it's going to shape up to be a pretty good one for scoring here at the Dick's Sporting Goods Open this week. Coming up, I'll tell you who we think one of the contenders could be, and you can hear from him. Plus, it's not all golf here at Action Sports. Our training camp tour visits with a legend in high school football, Walton coach Jim Hoover. That's coming up next.
This is Action Sports.
At this time tomorrow, we'll know who our leader is after round one here at the Dick's Sporting Goods Open. But for now, we're still speculating on who could be on top of the leaderboard after the first 18 holes. There could be Bernhard Langer there. He's been bogey-free in his last 93 holes here at Enjoy, which if you've played here, you know it's pretty nuts. There's also the red-hot Jeff Maggard. And for the first time in a few years, Kenny Perry is back. It's been about a month since he's played on the Champions Tour because of a health issue with one of his grandsons, but he won the last tournament he played. So he's got that going for him. He says getting ready has been almost like cramming for a test.
Haven't played much golf in 3 weeks, just piddled with it a little here and there. So I guess mentally I'll be fresh, but physically I don't know where it's going to be. I'm told everybody I'm kind of cramming for a test today to try to go out there and find a golf game in one day. It's happened in the past. I had 2 weeks off before I went to Minnesota and won there.
We'll see how ready he is tomorrow when he tees off at 1:05. Meanwhile, the President's Cup is in town this week for the tournament with U.S. Captain Jay Haas and World Assistant Captain Mark McNulty playing in this year's field. They decided to bring it to Endicott, and they're hoping to build on some momentum and have it get as much recognition eventually as the Ryder Cup, which is just the U.S. versus Europe.
Seemingly it doesn't have that stature right now, but I think more and more people are always talking about it now, and certainly at this time of the year they're excited about the event happening. And I think the fact that we take it globally is very important. It's growing the game.
The world looks upon it, and we want the world to look upon the President's Cup the same way. And I think we're getting closer and closer to that sort of stage.
The President's Cup begins October 8th in South Korea. In 1976, Walton beat Afton by 40 points in its first game under head coach Jim Hoover. Fittingly, 40 years later, Hoover's one of the most successful coaches in Section 4, and he's beginning his 40th season. He's produced 300 wins over those 39 years, with 14 sectional titles and 2 state championships.
This Walton High School football camp preview is brought to you by Klinger Power Sports.
In July, Hoover was enshrined in the New York State Public High School Athletic Association Hall of Fame, a fitting honor for the state's all-time wins leader and for one of the faces of Walton athletics.
He's the greatest coach. He's smart. He'll teach you anything you need to learn to be better at what you do. He'll make you become a team, even just friends. He'll make us help each other out, anything to make us better.
The whole community, the administration, all the players, all my coaches, my family, they're all part of it, and it was really something special. One of the things that I'm gonna, after I retire, that I will remember.
While he'll remember it, for now he's looking forward to Walton's season opener. The Warriors host Seton in Week 1. It's gonna do it for sports for right now. We'll be right back.